These comments are kind of funny. They say the narcissist said, "I wanted my cake and eat it too. I wanted both of you." They actually said that. Entitled POS. It's emotional abuse is what it is. Another comment said, "Narcs have monkey energy by going from branch to branch, always rebounding, just sick. I need another lifetime to heal." Yeah, that's what it feels like, isn't it? That's what it feels like. Like you're going to need another lifetime to get through this trauma, this narcissistic abuse trauma that you've been hearing about, probably stumbling upon videos like these as you're desperately searching for answers, turning to YouTube, the airwaves of YouTube, to find answers to your problems. Hello, my name is Kita. This is Psychopath Exposure. And if this is your first time on this channel, do not click away just yet, because you're probably wondering if your ex was living a double life. You're probably wondering if the person that you called wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, love of your life, soulmate, it seemed like there was someone else in the relationship while you guys were together. And yeah, some of you caught them cheating at the end. That's why the relationship came to an end. But some of you were just discarded, thrown away like yesterday's trash, and you didn't get any explanation to their sudden change of heart. They just started treating you like garbage. The fights started escalating. What was once a wonderful relationship turned into, felt like you were dating a stranger. For a lot of you, especially if you've dated a psychopath, it felt like you were dating the devil. Right? And you had never experienced something like that. I've worked with a lot of people. I have a coaching program where I work with trauma victims of narcissistic abuse and survivors. A lot of victims of these narcissists have been in previous long-term relationships and marriages, and it was never like this. It was never like this. Even people that have been divorced, it was never like this. And then you stumbled upon this person that, well, for whatever reason or not, seemed like they were heaven sent just for you. But I'm going to tell you something. I want to dive deep about whether they were actually sent for you or not. Later on in this video, I'm going to reveal that they actually were, and I'm going to tell you exactly why they were sent for you, but not the way that you think. Because we think when we but through divine intervention, you meet this person, and right away you feel this strong connection, and you feel like they're your soulmates. Like they are the only ones on the planet that understand you, right? This is the only person that truly understands me. They can see inside of me. Later on, when you get through that entanglement, you want to kick yourself in the ass for sounding like such a gullible buffoon. No, it's that they didn't really understand. A lot of these narcissists were already studying you before they even approached you. In my case, with my psychopath ex, I met her. I approached her. And we exchanged numbers, and we texted that night, and just like that, she stopped replying. And I was like, all right. I had a bunch of other phone numbers that I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to text this other one. So I thought, right? And that's it. And I put her out of my mind, and it sucked because I thought she was kind of hot. And that was it. But no. See, she was following me like on social. And I was posting stuff, and that's it. In my head, I was like, damn, so close, but no cigars. I'm not going to get this one. Oh, well. But you know what happened? 2 or 3 weeks later, I get this random text, and it was so cryptic. And I was like, oh, it has to be this person. And I was like, oh my God, is that my ex from long ago? Like, I actually started thinking things like that. But then as I carefully started deciphering the code on the text, I realized, I was like, wait a second, my ex would have nothing, she wouldn't know what this even means. And I was like, oh snap, it's her. And I was like, oh shit, how you been? And blah blah blah. She wanted to meet up. She was going to this event, and coincidentally, so was I. Maybe I had posted it online and she knew. I don't know. And that's how that thing started. And later on, I discovered that she had been studying everything I was posting on social media, and she even mentioned a few posts that I posted that she thought they were very interesting. And I was like, "You were watching?" I was like, "Holy shit! I thought you were like long gone. I thought that's it. You stopped replying, and that was the end of it." She's like, "No, I was watching you, and I was so intrigued." Of course, once you understand the psychopath, she was just trying to get to know everything she could about me, with my musical taste, my choices in movies and food and style and gaming and whatever it was. And she just started mirroring those things at the beginning of the relationship. So be careful when you meet someone and suddenly they take an extreme interest in everything that you do, and everything and anything that you contribute to society, to the internet, whatever it is that you do or you put out. And they're just so fascinated by it, and it's just the only thing. It's kind of like the work that you do is the only work that exists. It's a little uncanny. It's a little uncanny if you ask me. A little extreme there, don't you think? But that's what narcissists and psychopaths and toxic people do. And if you don't know about this disorder, you're going to fall right into the little trap just the same way that I did. Because the attention that you get is so overwhelming. And let me tell you something. If you're coming out of a relationship already, if you're coming out of a marriage and maybe it was an unhappy marriage, something like that, and then you meet this person and it's like, wow, I wish my wife would have treated me the way you're treating me. I wish my ex-girlfriend would have given me the attention that you're giving me, right? Because that happened to me. Like I was in a long-term relationship and with a great girl. I'm not trying to trash her, but she was extremely jealous. And she would not for the life of her give me one single compliment on anything that had to do with my appearance or my style or my music. It was always this fear that, giving me compliments was going to somehow, I don't know, attract other women. It just made no sense. And I remember going to therapy and meant bringing that up, and she would tell the therapist, she's like, "No, I don't want to tell him that because then he's gonna do it more." It's like, do what more? They're like, do what more? Like be himself? And it's like it was just jealousy. It was just some sort of fear. And then of course you meet, or at least in my case, I meet this. Pretty much every girl that came after that was just compliment after compliment after compliment, but not at the level of a psychopath. With a psychopath, it was like extreme love bombing. Like if we were soulmates from every possible multiverse. And that gets addicting. It feels good. It feels good when someone that barely even knows you is worshiping the ground that you walk on. I know better than to fall for that now, but I see it, and I think it's pretty pathetic when I see it. And careful, guys. Careful if you meet a woman that's just sweeping you off your feet, and you really haven't earned that place, right? You haven't earned that place that she's pedestaling you on. You haven't earned it. You don't deserve that. It's a little too fast, a little too soon, right? So be careful if that's the situation that you are now. But I digress. Back to the double life situation. You see, with these narcissists, the same way that I just explained that I was being groomed, I was being studied and later mirrored and this and the other, the narcissist does the same thing. Once they know that there's no future with you, whether they had an RAS flip, and that's it, the things that they liked about you, they no longer like, and they're hyper-focused on all the bad things now. And at the beginning, they were hyper-focused on all the good things that they liked, right? So they have an RAS flip, reticular activation system, and it flips. Boom. Now they're on the other side. Now they don't like you. They don't like anything about you. All those things that they worshipped, all those things that whatever you did, it was the best thing you ever did. Now it's like, it's not so good. They just start devaluing. It's called devaluing. That process is the devaluation phase. You start to lose value in their eyes. And they're not afraid to let you know that they don't look at you the same way anymore. But by that time, you're hooked. And you're like, hey, wait a second. What do you mean? Like, I'm in love with you, and you loved all these things about me, and now what's going on here? So you start to kind of like chase that attention. You start to chase those compliments again, and the more you chase them, the less they come. The more you want them, the less they're going to give them to you, right? And you start to notice, wait, I feel like this person might be seeing someone else behind my back. Like, is that really what they're doing? And you ask them questions, and the answers don't line up. And by that time, they're withholding sex. So you're like, okay, well, we're not having sex. I'm sure, that's a need. I'm sure they have needs too. Or, are they getting their needs met? Like, what's going on here? And then you start to think, wow, it's been months. They must be seeing someone else. And you confront them about it, and they deny it. And you start to play a little detective. You start to play detective with them, and the closer you get, the more they're going to lash out. The closer you get to catching them, they're going to just pick a fight and blow up and turn the whole thing around on you. And they're going to blame you that you don't trust them. And, oh, man. I could be here all day sharing stories with you guys about the things that the narcissist is going to do when you confront him on stuff. All right? Believe me, that's not something that happens in a healthy relationship. In a healthy relationship, and when I mean a healthy relationship, that doesn't mean that you're not going to fight, that you're not going to have arguments, that you're not going to have blowouts and things like that. I'm talking about a normal relationship where you have problems, you discuss them, you make up, life goes on, you get stronger, and you don't have a fight the next day, and you don't have the same fight the third day, and you don't have the same fight the fourth day. That's not how it goes. That's a toxic relationship. But in a healthy relationship where you have problems, and they're good problems to have, and you get through them, and you learn, and you discuss them, right? Sometimes you lose your temper a little bit. Sometimes you may raise your voice. You may get angry. I think angry is a healthy emotion. I think every emotion on the spectrum is healthy as long as you go through the spectrum and there's flow. You cannot stay too long. You can't be an angry, rageaholic all the time. That's a problem. You see, the narcissist is always on that low frequency tier. They're never happy. Okay, that happiness you think you saw at the beginning was an illusion. It was temporary, but their baseline is always chaos, anger, resentment, vengeance, right? They're always in that horrible space coupled with sadness, depression, and all the bad stuff. They're usually there. They cannot rise above that. They get excited at the beginning of the relationship with you because you're the new shiny object. But they know that they're going to ruin it, and around the 90-day mark, they usually do. It's always around the 90-day mark that the claws come out when you're dealing with toxic people. Now, that doesn't mean that that's the end of the relationship, but it was around the 90-day mark that I saw her fangs, and I saw what a snake she really was, but I didn't know about narcissist personality disorder. I didn't know about psychopaths being people that look like normal people. I thought psychopaths were like the Joker and serial killers that you see on the movies. I didn't know that they're normal looking people, extremely charming. They have jobs. They're functional. You'll never guess that there's nothing in there. You'll never guess that. I didn't know about those things. So to me, it was just, okay, we're having a fight. I guess she is a little brat. I guess she does have, problems. I guess she's not the soulmate angel perfection that I thought. She's flawed. She's broken. There it is. There it is. There it is. Right? There it is. I see it. But that's cool. I'm going to fix it. right? I'm gonna fix it. We're gonna get through this. Had no idea. I had no idea that I was walking deeper into hell the longer I stayed with that psychopath. And that's what's going on with you guys. You're in this situation and you need to get out, but you won't. And you're questioning and you're wondering, it's like, wait, is this person living a double life? Like, are they in another? Nah, they can't be in another relationship because we are in a relationship, right? That they're going to at least give me the common decency of breaking up before starting something new, right? I mean, even if they're cheating, even if they're cheating, they're not going to make it official with someone else while being official with you, right? You're not, that would never happen, right? Goes to show how little we know. Goes to show how little we know. These narcissists, these people are evil, and they will make it official with someone new and tell everyone about it and start putting pictures on social media with their new man. Just like that. And you're sitting there. You're so deep in the spell that you'll sit there and you'll watch them put pictures of another guy on their social media. And you don't even know how to respond to that because it's so outlandish. It's so like in your face that it can't be real. You know how they say what was it? The devil's best trick was convincing the world he didn't exist, or something like that. It's kind of like it's just so it's a little too obvious that they're cheating that it can't be. So I'm gonna dismiss it and look the other way. That's how bad this spell goes when you're dealing with a psychopath narcissist. They're spelling it out for you that they're having an affair, but they're not going to admit it, but they are enjoying watching you suffer. They enjoy playing the game. They really like playing those games. And they'll deny it. But their story doesn't add up because a lot of them they're not that great at lying. I got to tell you, like, my psychopath ex was not the best liar, and I caught all the stuff. But there are some. That will fool the therapist, and the therapist will have no idea, and the therapist will believe that you are the psychopath. The therapist will think you're the one that needs help. So be careful with these people. Be careful. They live double lives. They're damn good at it. I knew a friend that used to live a triple life. I don't speak with him anymore, but triple life. He was married and he had 2 girlfriends, and it was like he would leave, and he had this weird job with a weird schedule, and he would leave in the morning from his wife's house, telling her that he was going to work, put on his uniform, but he was actually going to the second girl to her house, and he would pretend that he had just worked a graveyard, and he'd get to her house, and then fuck all day until it was time to go to work, and then he'll that was on his day off, but what was it? I know it's confusing, but he would switch clothes or something like that. He would tell her that he was going home or work, something like that, but he'll go to the third girl's house, right? And then flip the story, and then by the time that was done, shower and everything, and get dressed, whatever. He'll tell the third girl he's going to work. There you go. He'll tell the third girl he's going to work, and then he'll come home to his wife with his uniform on, like if he just came from work. But his wife had no idea that was his day off. Nobody knew, right? She didn't know it was his day off. The other girls thought one thought he was coming from work. The other one thought he was going to work, and his wife. It's madness. It was a long time ago. This guy used to tell me this stuff, and I would be sitting there. I was like, man, you mad lucky dude. You got like 3 women. You got 3 women. How long is this going to last? And I was like, why do you do that shit? But at the same time, you're young, because this was back in our 20s. And you look at that situation, it's like, man, you got 3 women, man. You're getting laid with 3 girls the same day. Wow. And this guy was one of the coolest guys that I had ever met. I'm not going to sit here and say that he was a narcissist or anything, but what this guy was doing was heartless. What this guy was doing was If his wife ever found out, it would just crush her. So double life, some people can pull a triple life. Some people can pull a triple life. The difference is that a narcissist actually wants you to, they want to get caught. They're not going to admit it, but they want to get caught because it's part of the punishment. When my psychopath ex, when I finally caught her, and we were already broken up, but when I finally, like, people came and told me shit, and I caught wind of it, and I just confronted her. And the relationship was already over. We were just talking as friends. Big mistake, right? And then boom, just like that, when I caught her, she had nowhere to go. And she's like, yes, true. And then she started telling me stuff, and there was like a little smirk, that I would hear in her tone. And then the Joker laugh all of a sudden came out of nowhere. Like the Joker laugh came out of nowhere when I called her out on some more shit, and she just had nowhere to go, and boom, and just erupted laughing. Just erupted laughing. It's kind of like, you got me. Or that's it. She didn't give a damn. She didn't give a damn. And you start thinking, damn, how long was this going on? So I was right all along. So when I was getting that intuition, when I was getting that gut feeling that I was trying to silence, I was right. The whole time I was right, but I was denying it. I didn't want to accept or believe that something like this could be happening to me. And that's the problem, isn't it? Not accepting reality, not accepting things for what they are. If you have to worry about what your partner is doing behind your back, that means that they've done enough in front, right? In front of you. I'm not going to say in front of your back. They've done things in front of you. They've done enough things in front of you that are beyond disrespectful, that are beyond deal breakers, where now you start to wonder, man, if they do that in front of me, God knows what they're doing behind my back. This doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. And meanwhile, you're still in the relationship. Meanwhile, you're doubling down on this sunk cost fallacy that you think that, hey, I've been in this for so long that I might as well stick around and just try and figure it out. And guys, let me tell you, especially if you're still young, don't make that mistake. Youth is wasted on the young. Ever heard of that one? Don't waste your time. This goes for the ladies too. If you're in a situation, they're seeing someone else already, and they're lying to you, and they don't it's not a little white lie here and there. I'm talking about you ask them blatant questions, and they just can't give you a straight answer, because some of these narcissists, some of these toxic individuals they're like pathological liars, right? Pathological liars is like they have to lie because it's part of the pathology. They can't not do it. Even if doing it sabotage is a good thing, they can not do it. Or they cannot not do it. They can't not do it. I know the grammar's butchered there and it's driving me crazy, but I will contain myself for the sake of finishing this video. So take heed. Take heed. My warning. Take heed, because I've lived through that nightmare. Take heed. It doesn't get better if you believe it's already happening to you. Here's another clue I'm going to give you guys before I let you go, and it's walking on eggshells. If you're constantly walking on eggshells around your so-called significant other, not just once, I'm talking about like if you fear having a confrontation with them, if you fear broaching a topic with them, if you fear not knowing what mood they're in, and you're just tiptoeing around because you're afraid of a blow up, you're afraid of a fight, you're afraid of them losing their temper, you're afraid, you're in the wrong relationship. You're in the wrong relationship. Now, before I go, I did promise you guys I was going to reveal why it is that the psychopath narcissist was actually sent to you. No, they were not sent to you as a soulmate. They were sent to you for you to learn a valuable lesson. That's right. There's a silver lining in every tragedy that happens. I cannot tell you what that silver lining is for you, but I can tell you that for me, I learned a lot of lessons. I learned how to read people. I learned how to trust my intuition. I learned how not to be afraid to stand up for what I'm seeing, for what I think is true. I learned not to be afraid to have a crucial conversation without fear of losing that friendship or that relationship or that job or that position. To be able to say what I need to say without fear of consequence. And that doesn't mean go up to anyone and just tell them, hey, fuck off or anything like that. I'm talking about just, having a crucial conversation with people that you respect, the people of authority, or, people that are close with, relationships, things like that, that in the past I would not do it because of fear of losing something. And it's like, I lost myself. I lost myself during that relationship with a psychopath narcissist because I was afraid to go on my gut intuition. I could have spared myself 5 months, okay? I could have spared myself 5 months because it was 5 months of hell that I went through because I was afraid to actually put my foot down and do what needed to be done. Something I should have done the first time I saw it. The first time I saw it. And my radars were telling me, well, this is it. This sucks. You're going to have to break up with this girl. And I was like, shit. You mean to tell me I'm going to miss out on this great sex with this fucking chick that's like my soulmate and everything I've ever wanted, and just like that because of this, and I started having conversations with myself inside my head, and I just convinced myself to put up with what I had seen. And then it happened again and again and again and again and again. Always worse every time. Could have saved myself 5 months. But you know what? This channel would not exist had I not gone through that. So there was always a silver lining, and I hope you guys can find that silver lining so that you don't have to repeat this tragedy again, because in life, if you don't learn your lessons, you're doomed to repeat things, okay? You're doomed to repeat them if you don't learn from them. So I hope you learned from this. I hope you got some value out of this. And if you feel that you're living a double, that your narcissist is living a double life, okay? Check out this video before you go. I'm going to post it right up here in just a second, but you can probably see the little thing that pops up. It's also in the description, but there's things that they do, there's things that they say, there's a way that they behave when people are living double lives. It's not an easy task. That person is constantly afraid of being caught by the other person because, yeah, the narcissist enjoys watching you suffer, but if they have a good thing, they don't want to ruin it, right? And what I mean by that, because that sounds a little contradicting, it's the narcissist will self-sabotage, they will ruin a good thing. Okay? Doesn't mean they want to, but it's in their nature to do so. But if they have 2 sources of supply and they can get away with having both, and neither of them know that either of them exist, or if they do know that they exist, they're twisting the story, telling them, oh, that's we're just friends, or we're in the middle of a breakup, and then they say the same story to the. If they do that, that's not something easy to do. You have to remember the lies that you told, and you have to tell another lie to cover another lie, to cover another lie, to cover another lie. This is the chaos that the narcissist has to go through day in and day out. Okay? I'm not saying I feel bad for them. I'm just saying this is the hell that they're in. They're causing you hell. Believe me, they are in hell. They are the embodiment of hell. This is why they do the things that they do. So I have more information on this video right here. Check it out before you go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. My name is Kita. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.